Alright, so
And that female's not even here, that can't have
say again,
that female, that can't be, but I need to be examined.
just in case. Negative 2x plus 3 is equal to 4x minus 2. So this is what I think we came off of this last time we met. And I told you that the main objective of algebra is to get the variable what? By itself. So that means you're focusing on the variable. So that means we're focusing on the 2x and we're focusing on the 4x. Now, the smallest of the two is what? What's the smallest of the two? The negative 2. So, move the negative 2 over. Why am I moving the negative 2 over? Because it's the smallest. Well, Hubert, I don't want to do that. I wasn't taught to do that. I was taught to move the 4x over because Jody and Susie cannot switch sides on the seesaw. Well, that's not the way I teach it. And if you do it that way, that's fine. But when we get to inequalities and you screw up, don't raise your hand because you're not doing what I did. All right, so 3 is equal to 4x, what? What does that do when it comes across the river? Comes to 2x. And that gives me 3 is equal to 6x minus 2. Now we have our 6x together. 2 goes where? Across the river, that becomes a what? Positive 2. 5 is equal to 6x. Now what? 5, 6 is equal to x. Now, like I said last week, I can hear the people that didn't do it that way. I can hear them right now. Well, I got that same answer, so it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. But that's not why I'm teaching you to keep the variable positive. I'm teaching you to keep the variable positive so when we get to inequalities, you don't have to remember 2 more rules. And that is 6.7, I believe. 6.6 or 6.7, one of those sections. All right? Let's try over one more. And after this one, we'll move on to the distributive law. Because right now we're just doing multi-step. We're just doing 2 or 3 steps. Nothing fancy. Now, which one's the smallest bucket? The 2x. So you're going to move it over. And that becomes a x. 7 comes over, it becomes a positive 7. So x is equal to what? And not a lot of people have problems with these. The only problem that people have with these type problems is the negative. And if there's a negative out front, they either forget to multiply through by negative or divide by negative, or they just do it and they don't even think about it. And then at the end, when we get the inequalities, they just do it and don't think about it, and they don't do the next step, which means they have to flip the equality and then they get mad when they get wrong. So, let's go to the distributive law. Before I go to the distributive law, let me just reiterate what we've gone over so far. First, we went over order of operations. Second of all, we went over one-step equations. The one-step equations was x plus 4 is equal to 2, x minus 4 is equal to 6, 2x is equal to 8, and x over 3 is equal to 7. And I think that gave y'all 4. Then 3 two-step equations. The two-step or multi-step equations, an example of 2x plus 4 is equal to 7. I think that was one of the first ones we did. And then we moved to do two sides at one time. So that's what we've covered so far. Distributive law is number 4. Now, distributive law, here's an example of one. This is a very basic distributive law. Always remember the distributive law is kind of like a block of cement. I mean, if you're working with concrete, and I usually show this in a pre-algebra class, but y'all had pre-algebra, and you're working with a block. I mean, you're pouring some concrete into a block. Let's say you live in a subdivision where you can't dig and you can't dig, and you want to put a mailbox up, and you can't dig into the ground because you might kill some kind of worm or something. So you have to do a cement block here, and then put your mailbox up. So you make a 1 foot by 1 foot by 2 foot form of a block of plywood, and you pour concrete into that thing, and you put your post up like so you can put your mailbox up. I don't know how to draw, but anyway, something like that, and there'll be flag. Alright, so you got a block right here, and you pour that concrete in there, and while you pour that concrete in there, your ring falls off, and you don't notice it because you're a guy that's supposed to like that, and you've got that ring in there. Well, that's the only way. What happens to concrete? It cures. In other words, it gets like concrete. How's the only way to get the ring out of the concrete block? VA hammer, right? Take a hammer and just start chipping away at it. So your goal is to get the ring. Obstacle is what? Concrete block. The tool that you're going to use is the VA hammer. And you're going to break that concrete away until you get the ring. What the heck does that have to do with this? Well, here's your ring. This is your concrete block. And where's my hammer? There's your hammer. You're going to take that hammer, and you're going to break that concrete block up to the distributive block. And what's 2 times X? And what's 2 times 3? And there is your equation, and that's number 1, 2, and 3. This is right here, 1 and 2 right here. So distributive law is just a tool to get the first 2 type equations. So how do you get rid of a +6? Take it across the river. And it becomes minus 6. 2x is equal to what? 1. X is equal to now that's a real, on a scale from 1 to 10, that's about a 1. Real simple. So, distribute the 2. Just remember, whenever you see these parentheses, that's a concrete block. You're not going to be able to do anything with a concrete block unless you bust it up. Period. You can't do anything with it. You can't take the 3 away. You could divide by 2, but that would give you a what on the right hand side? Fraction, 7 halves. And if you like widths and chains, knock yourself out. Work that fraction all you want to. But why? Alright, let's do a nerd. 3 times x minus 2 plus 7. Now bear weight. Is equal to 5 times x minus 2. Alright, work with that one. You got 2 cement block or concrete blocks up there. So that means you got to bust both of them up. You got a number 3 hammer and you got a number 5 hammer. And what do we have on the left hand side? 3x minus 6 is equal to what? 5x minus 10. Which ones are big or smallest bucket? 3. I'm going to move it over. Becomes minus 3x. Negative 6 is equal to 2x minus 10. That negative 10 comes across the river. And 10 minus 6 is 4. X is equal to 2. So everybody should have got x is equal to 2. Alright, now, we've got, I could add a couple more things to it and it become a multi-step equation with distributive law. Right now it's just distributive law. You do distributive law and then you have a couple of steps and then you get the answer. But I could add a few more things to it and it become a multi-step with distributive. So let's go ahead and take this type problem, and I was going to copy it over, but I'll just make another one up. 2 times x minus, well, 2 times 3x minus 7 plus 2 is equal to 3 times negative 2x minus 7 plus 4. Okay, now if you take these two things off right here, cover that up, and cover that up, you have the same problem we just did, right? Okay. So now, start. Or you could throw your pencil down and quit. That would be a good thing to do. That'd be the easiest thing to do. Or you could erase the positive 2 and positive 4, you can do that. Just say it was this. Well, the first thing you're gonna have to do is distribute, because you can't do anything really. Now, you could move that negative, that positive 2 over there, and it'd be 2, but that's not gonna help you any. So you might as well just go ahead and bust up the blocks. Now, in algebra, usually after you use the distributive law, unless it's a real basic problem, after you use the distributive law, you always do what next? Combine like terms or add like terms. CLT. Combine like terms. That's usually what you do after you use the distributive law in algebra. So that would be 6x minus what? 14 plus 2 is equal to negative 6x minus what? Okay, now at this point, we're going to combine like terms because that's what you do after you do the distributive law. So, negative 14 plus 2. You owe $14, you have 2. What's the outcome? You still owe 12. Negative 6x. You owe $21, you have 4, you owe. And now you have the problem we just did, or the same type problem we just did in the previous screen. Which one's the smallest bucket? You bring it over. And that becomes a positive 6x. 12x minus 12 is equal to negative 17. And what do we do with that negative 12? Comes across the river. So 12x is equal to, you owe 17, you have 12, you owe 5, right? So x is equal to negative 5 12. Do you notice anything about the way that I do these type problems? Anybody want to give any input on how I do them? How I show them to y'all? How do I show them? In order, yes. And I do not what? What do I not do while I'm showing you how to do these problems? Anybody want to take a stab at it? What? No. How about I do not skip what? Steps. Okay? Some of y'all, let me show you what y'all do, especially the guys. Here's your blue notebook paper marks right here. Okay? 2x plus 4 is equal to 3x minus 6. That's what y'all try to do. Try to do it in your head. Okay? And your mathematics degrees are in what? How many of you got a mathematics degree? You're able to skip that many steps and you're in Math 155? What I'm trying to say is some of you aren't ready for that. Some of you aren't ready to do that. You just haven't got out of pre-algebra and you just haven't started understanding what algebra is. Some of you didn't get out of pre-algebra understanding what algebra is. So don't be trying to do that. Some of you trying to. Don't. Okay? if you are coming out of pre-algebra and you are just now understanding what algebra is, you need to be doing this. Okay? So, what's left? Well, we went over, let's say for the virtual eraser. Okay, we went over got those steps out of the way. And then what's the only step left? The step that I'm going to test you on the most. You don't want to take a big guess at it? Fractions. What do you mean, right? Well, I'm fixing to show you. Let's start off with something simple. Got to crawl before you can what? Good. The rest of y'all, it's your parents' fault. Should have known that. 1/2 times x minus 3. Now let's make that up. Let's make this a 5x. So is equal to 1/2. No, let's just make it simple. 7. Okay, that's what I'm erasing for. You got the eraser, don't you?
No.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Bringing a pen to math is like saying ain't in English. You don't do it. All right. So, here you don't need to clear the fraction. Just distribute that fraction. Yeah, this way we get 5/2 x is equal to 3/2 x, or minus 3/2 x. And now not only do we have one fraction, we have what? 2 fractions. So we went from normal to whips and chains. Okay? So don't do that. Whenever you have a fraction, the best thing to do is what? Keep it or get rid of it? Get rid of it. Write that down. When a fraction is present, try to get rid. Some of y'all may not know what get rid means. That means remove. Okay? Get rid of it. Kind of like when you go to a hotel for a vacation. How many of you got kids? Okay, you know what I'm talking about here. You go on vacation, there's a 25-story hotel where you got 5 kids and you're going on vacation. So you know you don't take 5 little bags. You got to take their clothes, you got to take everything else. So do you go to the 25th floor? Do you ask for the 25th floor? Or do you ask for the first floor? Why? Because somebody has to carry all that paraphernalia. Usually it's the father. Okay? That has to be packed like a pack mule. And when you go to the beach, yeah. Guess who has to carry all the stuff? Yeah, exactly. So I want the first floor. I want to put it on one floor. So I don't want to get rid of the second floor here. There's 2 stories right there. I want to get rid of it. So multiply through by the common what? The common denominator. So I'm going to multiply through by 2 over 1. So I'm going to put a bracket here. I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1. Or 2, because 2 is the common denominator. Now I'm going to put a baby step in here because you have to remember to do this. I'm going to put 2 over 1 here. No talking, please. And 2 over 1 here. Why didn't I multiply by what's inside the parentheses? The ring is in the concrete block. why don't you just take your hand and just reach in there and get it? Huh? What's going to happen if you try that? Break your hand. So, are you just saying we're just going to take that too and just force it into this concrete block right here? Can't do that. Just like you cannot reach into a concrete block with your hand and get the ring. You got to bust that up before you can do anything. So you leave it what? You leave it alone because you can't do anything with it. There you go. And I'm sorry, people, but to me, I don't see why that's hard. What is the number one problem students have with mathematics? Fractions. What happens if you put fractions into algebra? Students get the algebra fraction. So what do? Well, you make everybody use a calculator. Yep, and that's why you got people that can't make change. And that's why I refuse to do that. So what happens here? That gives you a 1 equals what? 14. Now, at this point, the 1 in front of the, you don't need to worry about that, because 1 is what we call the multiplicative identity. Impress your friend. A positive 1 is the multiplicative identity, meaning that whatever you multiply by 1, you're going to get what? You're going to get the same answer. So do you physically have to distribute that 1? No. It's just assumed, since 1 is the multiplicative identity, positive 1 multiplied by this. Now, to actually get rid of the parentheses, you have to distribute. But we don't, because 1 times this is that, so we don't do that. But just so you will understand, I'm going to distribute 1 here and here, and that gets rid of the parentheses. And that gives me 5x minus 3 is equal to 14. And now you're back to number 1, number 2 level problem, and how you get rid of a negative 3. Take it across the river. And positive 3. 5x is equal to what? 17. And x is equal to 17 over 5. All right, let's step it up a notch. Is this a test question? Maybe. If I give you 20 questions on the test, you might get one of these. What kind of question are you going to get? Maybe one like this. I'm going to let y'all work on that one for a second. If you can't do it, then you should get discouraged. And quit. What's the common denominator of 3 and 2? So you're gonna multiply 3 by 6. Hmm? What's 3 times 2? We have to go back to unit 1, because that's the common denominator, 6. What's the common denominator of 1/3 and 1/2? Well, I'm going to multiply through. By 6 over 1. I'm going to put a baby step in here. So that's 6 over 1. I'm going to multiply by this 1/3. I'm going to multiply by this 1/2. And I'm going to multiply by this 4. And the student say, well, Hubert, I thought you said you couldn't multiply blah, 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 or something with the parentheses. And why are you multiplying by this 1/2? Well, you got a concrete block with a ring in it. Right here. Concrete block with a ring in it. And somebody drops a $10 bill right here. Are you just going to leave it alone because you can't reach into the concrete block? Or are you going to grab the $10 bill? Somebody drops a $10 bill beside your concrete block, you're just going to leave it sitting there? No, all of you are going to pick it up. Don't say you're not. Oh, I'll wait until somebody comes by and picks it up. Yeah, right. Whatever. You're going to grab it. Alright, so you can't get this X. So that has nothing to do with this $10 bill right here. This is not in the what? In the concrete block. So you multiply the F by 6. You gotta multiply it here, you gotta multiply it here, you gotta multiply it here. And what is 6 divided by 3? And what is 6 divided by 2? And what is 6 times 4? Now, I don't know about y'all, but I would much rather work with this than work with this. Now you see why people can't do algebra. They can't do algebra because they don't know how to do fractions. So what does that 2 become? The hammer? And then you get 2x what? Good. And what's negative 14 plus 3? Bring the 11 over. 35. And x is equal to 35 halves. Do these things all day long. All right, let's try another. 1/3 times x minus 7 plus 3/2 is equal to 1/7 times x minus 2 plus 3. Yeah, that's got 3 fractions in it. I'd quit. Enjoy your candy. No, forget it. That's
Look, I
okay.
have,
No, that's all right.
I can go by it. if you
No.
want those.
No, thank you. Something she stole from her kids. And they're sitting in their class, snack time, with nothing to eat.
There's graham crackers with chocolate in them. They have 5 grams of protein.
Enjoy.
I brought them for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure. Okay, what's the common denominator? Oh, I don't know. No, 7 don't. No, 7 won't go into 6. Yeah, you quit. Because I haven't shown y'all how to find the common denominator. I haven't shown y'all that. Two, 3, and 7. Just to recap, unit 1, 2, 3, 7 is our denominators. 2, that's 1, 3, 7. 3, 1, 1, 7. 7, 1, 1, 1. So what's 6 times 7? 42, Hubert. Thank you, class. So what's the common denominator? 42 over 1. So I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 42 over 1. Baby step. 42 over 1. 42 over 1. 42 over 1. 42 over 1. 1/3 x minus 7. 3/2 1/7 x minus 2 plus 3 over 1. All right, now you do the next couple of steps. So what's 42 divided by 3? 14. $42 divided by 2 is what? 20 what? 1? And 21 times 3 is 63. You don't need a calculator for that. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. 42 divided by 7 is, and 42 times 3 is 126. No, you don't need a calculator for that either. Okay, now you can finish it. What's 14 times x? 14x. What's 14 times 7? 98. Plus 63 is equal to 6x minus what? Plus 126. Okay, we just distributed. Now what? Negative 100 plus 63 is what? 37? So what would negative 98 plus 63 be? 30 what? 35. 14x minus 35 is equal to 6x. You owe $12. You have 126. I can't do this I can't do this because this doesn't happen to me very much. What? Thank you. Usually it's the other way around. I have $12 and I owe 126. That's usually the way my bank account works. All right. So which one's the smallest bucket? That gives us 8, I'm sorry, what? I thought it was 8. 8x minus 35 is equal to 114. 35 goes across the river. 8x is equal to 149. And divide that by 8. X is equal to 149 over 8. Now you can't tell me that that's real difficult. Now, yes, it has quite a bit of steps, but as far as being undoable mathematically, is there anything that I did on the board, these last two boards, that's not addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Nothing. I mean, go back. I multiplied through by 42. And then I distributed. I multiplied by 14. I multiplied by 6. And then I combined my terms. Now, the problem students have with this one is, what word best describes when you look at that problem? Besides quit. Overwhelmed? Difficult, looks confusing. There's only three that you need to focus on. Right now, the three terms that you need to focus on are where? Sorry. 2/3. Where else? 6/7 and 1/2. Now somebody said 1/4. You just reach on in that concrete block and you get that ready. Go ahead. Do it. Try it. Somebody's going to say, what about the 1/4 and 2/3? When you worry about that after you clear this first. Whatever the common denominator is in these three. And most probably about 42. You need to lay off the Marlboro Reds. Things will kill you. Well, Hubert, after I distribute, I got more fractions. We clear them. I don't know how. Meditate. I'll be there in a minute. All right.
John to the Mother, It freeze for me, Vanna. Go to the bottom right hand corner.
Oh.
Thank you. Call the roll. I told y'all, no coughing, please. And be sick some other time. Brown, Carey, Dawson, Charles, Edwards, Elliott, Grubbs is here, LeCroy, no LeCroy, no LeCroy. Littman, Pardue is here, Queen is here, Rochester not here. Roebuck, not here. Satterfield, not here. Shaw, Smith, both my Smiths, no, one of my Smiths is here. Asa's here, correct? Vernon, Whitfield, Yo Whitfield, no Whitfield. Wright, okay. What? She said Zaxby's. I'll bring Zaxby's for everybody except for one person. No. I asked somebody to get me something to eat today. Too late now. Fine. I'll remember that. Now let's go pull up something. I wonder if they have that on YouTube. I was going to show y'all something. What? I go to, yeah, I've been to Fuji's, but I go to Nagoya is where I go. Anybody ever seen the movie Face Off? John Travolta plays a great villain. Oh, I love John Travolta when he plays a villain. But anyway, he's in there, and toward the end of the movie, that in the chapel, the boss dies, and they're in the chapel, and John Travolta's acting like Jesus on the cross, going like that. You ever seen it? Well, he comes in, and he goes, "I'm alive, shine," and he's chanting. You ever seen that? That's funny. That's where I get the meditation. I just couldn't find it. It's not on here. They have a scene from the chapel, but and he plays a good part where Nicolas Cage is in the prison, and Nicolas Cage has just found out that everybody's dead that knows he's in prison. You ever seen that part? And John Travolta walks in and goes, "Ooh, wee, you're good looking." That's funny. John Travolta plays a good villain. I don't think anybody can play as good a villain as John Travolta. Who? Okay, whatever. Yeah, you're.
Denzel plays a good villain.
Who?
Denzel.
I don't like Denzel as a villain. I don't like him as a villain. I like him when he plays good guy. But he's not. I don't think. Yeah, he could play a good villain. Yeah, please, thank you.
but I don't know, John Travolta's just so cynical when he plays a villain. I mean, I liked Denzel in the last movie he played, The Equalizer. I like that one. All right, we're gonna multiply through by, what'd you say, 42? So 42 over 1. And I am gonna skip a step here. Instead of writing it all again, I'm just gonna put 42 over 1 right here. I'm gonna put 42 over 1 right here. 42 over 1 right here. And 42 over 1 right here. Now, 3 will go into 42 how many times? How many? 14 times 2 is? Seven will go into 42 how many times? 6 times 6? That's really hard. 2 will go into 42. 21, Hubert. Thank you, class. 2/3 x minus 2. And 42 times 4 is 168. Did I tell anybody to get a calculator out? You don't need one. You should not have to use a calculator for that. Man, I've got some real hard math here. Okay, real hard. 28 times x is... Okay, y'all ready for this? 28 times 1/4. Minus 36 is equal to, how many times will that 3 go into that 21?
7.
And 7 times 2 is, and 21 times negative 2 is plus 168. Now you went from a problem with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fractions in it to what? No fractions. In just 2 steps. Now, is there any reason that you should not be able to do this? No. Now, let me go ahead and tell you this. Some of you have played piano before, right? Or taken piano lessons, and the piano teacher gives you Beethoven's Fifth, and you're supposed to play it in a recital in December. Okay? Are you going to be able to play it the first time you try? No. Are you going to be able to do this problem the first time you try it? Some of you may not be. But when you do these problems, the more you do, the better you're going to get. Just like the more you practice piano, the better you're going to get. Versus if you don't practice, you're going to suck at the recital. Everybody's going to make fun of you. You're going to get a very low self-esteem, and you're going to grow up to be a failure and live in a ditch. So, Direct stole that from me. I hope y'all know that. They stole it just like Freddy versus Jason. I had that idea a long time ago. 28x minus what? 7 and 36. Also got another idea. Jason and Michael Myers versus the Predator. That would be a good one. I think Michael Myers killed the Predator. I don't know, Jason still be running around with his hand cut off and stuff. Michael Myers don't get his hand cut off. He's just, Michael Myers is scary. Some of y'all are going, who you talking about? All right. What? Michael Myers is not scary to you. Yeah, right. I know your type. You'd be, I know. You'd be the type running off the front porch going, ah! -7 minus 36. What'd you say? Thank you. Is equal to 14x minus 42 plus 168, 146. 126, sorry. Which one's the smallest bucket? So the 14 is going to come across, because we focus on the x, because that's it. So minus 14. That gives you 14x minus 43 is equal to 126. 43, dang old Richard Petty, comes over, plus 43. Dang old Bush Brothers, they total 500. Oh, one's a jerk and the other one's an even bigger jerk. 14x is equal to 126 plus, what is that, 169? And divide by 14. So your answer is 169 over 14. Now, do you expect 200 problems on homework with this? Yeah. Because I'm going to throw another homework problem in, another homework section in there, and it's going to have some more difficult problems. Yes, this is 6 point what, y'all? 3? 6.2. Which one is it? I think it's 6.2 because I went over 6.1 first and we didn't spend a lot of time on it. So this is 6.2. So you're going to see another homework pop up that says 6.2, 500 problems or something like that. Beethoven's Fifth. I think I'll call it Beethoven's Fifth. All right, y'all get out of here. Glad y'all got to see me today. No, I'm not. I'm off the clock. What? What?
This little thing pops up and it says, y'all want to stop, plug in or continue. It says Shopwave is busy. And then like